What's up, Infected, and welcome to the Kwarenteen. This is Kickstart Your Week. Now, if you're not familiar with what this is my weekly show where I cover Kickstarters that I just thought looked interesting. Anything that caught my eye, maybe that I really liked, looked neat, and I basically just kind of talk about them here. There's no hard, fast formula. It's really just what I thought looked cool at the time. And the way I do this is I kind of glance at Kickstarter throughout the week. I don't look too deep into anything unless, of course, it's something that I'm definitely going to be backing. But I do a quick little assessment of ones that I thought looked interesting. Now, if you like this segment, definitely check out the Gamerati. I'll have a link down in the description that'll take you directly over to their page as well. Now, they're the only board game centric curators on Kickstarter, which is pretty cool. They're all pretty cool guys. Well, they're both pretty cool guys. I do a podcast with them any week that I am available and that I have free. And I'll just pick a Kickstarter and we talk about why we thought it looked cool. But definitely check them out. They're really cool guys. Again, the Gamerati, I'll have a link down in the description. Alright, first up on my list is Venture the Fog. Now this one looks like it's almost like a game of D&D, like an exploration game mixed with like D&D, but with no DM, where it looks like the game DMs itself. The character sheets are really cool as well. You choose like which character you want, and then depending on your equipment, you're going to slide it into this character sheet, which then reveals what your strength is, or what, if you have a suit of armor, you slide it in, boom, it shows what your armor is. And so it's very quick, fast way to track your health and armor and damage and all that stuff. I thought that looked really interesting. Not to mention that the artwork looks really, really nice. All the monster cards and all of that. And the minis, the 3D renders of the minis that they have look really promising. So if you're a minis person, definitely check this one out. If you're a D&D kind of person, definitely check this one out. And just overall, you like exploration games, it all around just kind of looks like a nice round little package. Next up is Dino Genesis. Now, Dino Genesis basically looks like, from everything I can gather, and even just what I've heard people talk about it, looks like a retheming of Agricola, but with dinosaurs. So if you already like Agricola and you like dinosaurs, this might be a shoe-in for you. I already backed Dinosaur Island, and so I'm not going to be backing this one more than likely, but it does look really fun and really good as well. The artwork in this is much better, respectively, because of course Dinosaur Island used the more stylistic, like 80s, everything's vibrant and neon, whereas this look takes a more darker, realistic kind of approach to, there's no neons and all that stuff. But overall, again, if you like Agricola and you like dinosaurs, this might be a shoe-in for you. Next up on the list is Wreck and Ruin. This one looks like a Mad Max style vehicular combat game, but with area control and like resource management, where you're all driving around just trying to blow the hell out of each other and control each other's territory to gain what looks like victory points. The minis are great. Then if you back this, you get to live, then die, then live again. Next up is Endure the Stars 1.5. Now, I debated on whether I wanted to put this one on the list. Because, if you already backed Endure the Stars, this one comes with like a little expansion you can add to it, adds more stuff, awesome. However, I did not like the game, because I don't feel it did what it set out to do. It didn't feel like a horror game. A lot of the things in the game just did not feel very thematic, felt incredibly random. Overall, I didn't like the game at all. I don't know if I did a review for it, I think I might have, but either way. But with that said, the minis are beautiful, and if you like minis, there are a lot of minis in this game. So if you already do like, maybe I'm the unpopular opinion, but if you already like Endure the Stars, check this one out. If you don't know what it is, do some research. It's supposedly a sci-fi survival horror, essentially. So definitely check it out, but do some research. So I was debating on if I was even going to put this one on the list. With that said, I don't know if the 1.5 fixes the issues that I had with the game. I've actually already gotten rid of it and I already sold my copy. Next up is Tiny Epic Defenders. Now this is probably one of the Tiny Epic games that I have never played. Now this one comes with the Tiny Epic Defenders and its expansion, along with, it includes the item meeples, which are really cool if you don't know what they are. They actually came out with Tiny Epic Quest, I think is what it's called, which is, you know, you have your meeples and then you get items that you put on the meeples, and now your meeple's actually holding a staff or a sword or a shield and stuff, and it's really, really cool. It's an awesome little design concept, and I love that Gameland Games kind of started this because it adds a little bit of flavor to meeples, and at a glance you can see that dude's got a sword. I've never played the Defenders series of Tiny Epic games, so I don't know how this is going to kind of go into the game or anything. It could be not work, I don't know. But overall, I like the Tiny Epic games. I've yet to play a Tiny Epic game that I didn't enjoy. And last on my list today is Coma Ward. Now, Coma Ward looks really interesting. Now, this is one of the games we talked about on the Gamerati last week, this past Thursday, and is when we usually record. And this one looks interesting. So it looks like Betrayal in the House on the Hill, but looks more structured and less, hopefully anyways, more balanced and a little more structured. And because I'm not going to get into Betrayal on the House on the Hill, but it looks really interesting. Basically, you're a person that wakes up in a coma, and you're trying to shamble around, trying to, you know, figure out who you were, what's going on, try to find items, whatnot, and then at some point, you're going to be given your roles, and so you don't know who is, you know, who's an ally, who's not, and whatnot. So you're going around, you finally get your role, and you have to achieve your goal at that point. It looks, again, a little more structured than Betrayal on the House on the Hill. It also seems to have like a legacy aspect to it, where, you know, once you play this phenomenon, you know, you're gonna know what to expect after that. So I don't know how much replayability there's going to be, but it looks really, really, really cool. It looks like a really interesting concept. The map looks like a layout like one of the pamphlets that you would get like at a hospital. Like it's just kind of a weird, just a very poorly drawn map, and, you know, these are here. That's pretty much what the game's map looks like. So overall, it looks very aesthetic. It looks like it might be a lot of good fun, and maybe, and I know it might make some people mad, but maybe it'll wind up being better than Betrayal in the House on the Hill. Alright, and those are my games for the week. I was able to narrow it down to 6. There was a paint stand with minis that I was thinking about adding to the list here, but I just used corks and it seems it works really well, so whatever. But anyways, that is my games for the week. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like my channel here and you like what I'm doing, you'd like to support me, any dollar helps. Any little bit of amount helps. I have a Patreon up here. Anything's appreciated. Down below, I also have a link to my Patreon and a tip jar if you're afraid of commitment and would still like to support me. You could do a one-time donation. Again, any little bit of help, a little bit of support helps. If not, keep watching the shows. That also helps support the channel. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time in the quarantine.